Hey, have you ever asked yourself the question, what if BitTorrent were a swarm algorithm? If you have, then this is the video and the research paper for you. This research paper is called Gradients: When Markets Meet Fine-Tuning, a Distributed Approach to Model Optimization. And it's put out by a company, RayonLabs.ai. Normally, I wouldn't review and go over a research paper particularly like this because these research papers tend to be just like very much company advertisements, right? Which is exactly what this is. But the approach that they're taking within this is very unique. And like, I don't think that they even understand the approach fully that they're uh, laying out and what they build, because they don't describe it to you in the same way that I'm going to describe it to you. I'll describe it to you exactly what is going on within here, and then I'll talk about what it does overall and why I'm reviewing it right now. And then so starting off with the abstract, I think that's the best place to start. Foundation model fine-tuning faces a fundamental challenge. Existing AutoML platforms rely on single optimization strategies that explore only a fraction of viable hyperparameter configurations. In this white paper, we introduce Gradients, a decentralized AutoML platform that transforms hyperparameter optimization into a competitive marketplace where independent miners compete to discover optimal configurations. Economic incentives align individual exploration with collective optimization goals, driving systematic investigation of hyperparameter regions that centralized methods miss. We evaluate our approach across 180 controlled experiments spanning diverse model architectures from 70 million to 70 billion parameters and task types. Gradients achieves an 82.8% win rate against Hugging Face, AutoTrain, and 100% against the other ones. And then a bunch of benchmarks. These results demonstrate that competitive, economically driven approaches can systematically discover superior configurations than decentralized AutoML consistently miss. So the overall overarching description of what this does overall is, so it's related to model fine-tuning very specifically, and within that, like hyperparameter optimization of the fine-tuning, right? And then so within that, generally speaking, you would use a tool they describe like AutoML, right? Like a lot of the fine-tuning videos that I've done on my channel, like a lot of them use AutoML, and it's like the most common one to utilize. Put out by as far as like the open source community, put out by Hugging Face, etc. They one thing that I will not like, this is like a corporate paper. They're selling their stuff over the competitors, right? And then so like especially like their biggest competitor in here would be like Vertex AI. And so they put here, right, like Google Vertex AI, GCP's managed AutoML service, limited experiments due to prohibitive costs, $10,000 plus for a single 70B model training run. Like $10,000 plus for a single 70B model training run on Google Vertex AI would be to train a model from scratch, which is not a direct comparison to like Hugging Face, AutoTune, AutoTrain, or Together AI. Like having trained and fine-tuned multiple models, I could fine-tune. I have videos on this channel where I fine-tune models utilizing Vertex AI, and it's like a couple of dollars, right? Like every time, like when you sign up for a new Google account, they give you like $75 or $150 or something for free. And then when you every single time that you fine tune a model, it'll be like $2 or $3 out of that. So it's, I mean, they're like this $10,000 plus is, again, like if you're wanting to train a model from scratch, which they're highlighting as the only platform that you could do that with. It's just not a direct comparison. I'm just highlighting that, and I noticed that within this paper. But what the technology does overall is pretty cool here. So Gradients, right, which is what the primary purpose of Gradients is to serve real users with high quality fine-tuning solutions for practical applications. Unlike traditional AutoML systems, but the same thing, right? But so the system architecture is what's important. The Gradients system consists of 3 principal actors and multiple computational processes, which is 100% why I say this is like a swarm algorithm that they've built out. They just don't build out the math behind the swarm algorithm, but that's what it is. They're taking this BitTorrent or like the back end of the, like, I'm not a crypto guy, but so they take the bit back end and then they're building on top of that, right? And then so from that they have validators, miners, and tasks. Validators are network nodes responsible for task creation, data set preparation, and submission evaluation. Miners are independent computational participants who compete to find optimal fine-tuning configurations, and tasks represent special fine-tuning challenges, each with defined data sets, model architectures, and evaluation criteria. That's pretty much how all of this is set up. I played around with their platform overall, and then like it seems to be maybe like they don't have it set up the best. Cool. But so this is the so you have they have the I'll just go here, the Rayon Labs. That's what I want. This is their main website, right? And then so we're building the future of decentralized AI, and they go over kind of like what all of this is, and then the different platforms, right? And then the Gradients platform here is where we're at, and then this is where you can essentially like fine tune the models like they describe, right? So I can do a new text or a new image model. I've gone through all of this. I just pick one of these. Like bottom line is that like generally speaking, it's going to cost you, let's say about like according to their math on this, like $10 to $15 to fine tune a model overall. Because like I pick this one, right? And then we'll just do auto select. And then so within this, I've gone through all of this just so you know, and then it's yeah, so here we go. And then it's like $5 per hour, right? So if I did 3 hours selected, it would be 15. I get to select how many hours I want to fine tune it on. But so I can choose a minimum of 1 hour. So it's between $5 and $15. This is where they're making like all of their money from it, right? Is from this. And then this is like, why are the crypto people like all of that, like why is crypto and is there like people, like why is there any sort of blend with crypto and AI overall, right? And it's all regarding this, like what we're looking at here. So what we're looking at here, right, is model fine tuning and model hosting, which is the like two most kind of like important or hugely important elements of AI overall, right? And then they're the two areas that could be bottlenecked. Like people have gone through and they understand exactly how the internet evolved and what happened within that process, right? And then so if someone were to try to close off, like own the architecture overall, they would do I mean exactly what like OpenAI, Anthropic, etc.'s business model is closing off and severely limiting access here, right, on the hosting and the fine tuning side. That's where they make like all the money because that's where like it's like that's where the money is, right? That's where the only amount of money is. That's why they're charging $5 per hour here for these fine tuning jobs, right? And then so it's actually I mean, again, having trained and comparing this to Vertex AI, it's actually more expensive to fine tune these models on this platform than it is Vertex AI, but which is fine overall because that's where they're. I mean, to me, it's where they're making their money on this platform and what it is, but just highlighting that overall. But so the benefit of this and why that comes into play within this and why the crypto people want this is because they want that architecture, that backend, how exactly that works to be distributed, right? And then like distributed rather than closed. And then so if you build it on top of like literally distributed architecture, there's no way to close it off because it's literally built from the ground up on distributed architecture. So it makes sense to me overall, the benefits of it. And then so coming back to the technical aspects of this, I think it's really cool, right? This is the very first time that I've seen anyone do this overall. Like, and it's like the bottom line, like literally what they're doing is they're turning this bit tensor network into a swarm algorithm overall, like flat out. That's what it's doing is it's operating existing and doing functions of a swarm algorithm. And then they have the math that they have in the paper here is this decentralized task distribution, which is they're giving the logic and building, and then they also they're utilizing GRPL. They're building out everything that is needed for these swarm algorithms to exist as swarm algorithms. And utilizing this bit tensor backbone in order to do it. So it's super interesting overall from my perspective within that, right? And then they have this whole scoring system. They do have a lot, and like when it comes to the GRPO and the training policy, they have a lot of math when it comes to the policy. And then the blockchain integration and economic incentives. I think this is super cool. Right? And then so when they're utilizing the like economic incentives of blockchain, and but that's related to the agents, right? So the agents are like fine tuning on that economic incentive, and that's how they're working and exploring that space. So it's a unique gradient in order to train the models, which is why it's called gradient, right? It's gradients, right? That's the name of their platform. So it's interesting overall. I think it's super cool. And then as they mentioned, it works for both text models and for diffusion models. And then so for diffusion models on their platform, it would take about about $15 in order to train. Ignore these pricings, right? Outside of that, outside of that, and then probably here, it's just on every single research paper. I never trust here, right? With the results, but those would be the two areas of the research paper that I would probably just not really pay attention to, is the cost and the results, comparisons. But overall, it's an interesting platform to me. Interesting what it does. It's the very first time that I've seen like a BitTorrent being used or the BitTensor being used in this particular way overall. I've made videos on a few different models utilizing the technology, but generally speaking, they're utilizing the technology for the distributed aspects. But what is unique about this is very unique, is that they're literally turning the network itself, that BitTensor network, into a swarm algorithm. They have some tensors that are validators, some that are miners, and some that are tasks. I mean, this is just flat out a swarm algorithm, right? So it's just interesting to me how it plays out and how it works out overall. So I'll leave a link to the research paper here, and then from here you can go and play around and look at anything that you would want. Overall, this isn't my playground and my general cup of tea, but I understand and I do recognize that there's a large correlation and crossover between, generally speaking, crypto and AI. And then so generally speaking, when I see these types of interesting models, I like to highlight them and point them out. So I'll leave a link to Gradients When Markets Meet Fine-Tuning, a distributed approach to model optimization. And if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.